just raise your hand, introduce yourself, your country, your organization, and if you were to ask a question, please wait for the microphone. Please switch off your mobile and only one question per person. Please, Coach, how do you see the match?
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين. مباراة كنا ننتظروا فيها كما قلت في الندوة الصحفية متاع امبارح أنه قبل المباراة أنه الأدوار الأولى في المجموعة وباش تلعب الأدوار الأولى في كأس العالم هذه، لكن نظن أنه المنتخب التونسي قدم مردود لا بأس به، استطاع باش يوقف المنتخب الإنجليزي تيرت ممكن 90 دقيقة أو أكثر. صحيح أن المنتخب الإنجليزي يسيطر على ردهات المباراة، لكن هذا كان اختيار من عنا نحن، لأن المنتخب الإنجليزي يملك في صفوفه لاعبين على مستوى عالي جدا خاصة في السرعات. لما يكون عندك خاصة ديليالي ولينغارد اللي يجوا من قدام سورتو خاصة ستيرلينغ اللي بدون أن ننسى معناها صاحب الهدفين اللي واريكين. هذاك علاش اختيار منطقة الكرة كانت شوية متأخرة بالنسبة للمنتخب التونسي على غير العادة. في الشوط الأول لقينا صعوبات لأنهم وصلونا بسهولة للمناطق الخلفية متاعنا. ممكن خروج الحارس متاعنا معز حسان أربك شوية الفريق متاعنا، ما خلاناش نتصرفوا كما يلزم في التغييرات متاعنا، يعني نقص لنا تغيير. ولما تلعب مباراة على مستوى عالي جدا كما هك يلزم 3 تغييرات تكون خاصة في وسط الملعب باش تخلي نفس المستوى بالنسبة للاعبين. نشكر اللاعبين متاعي على المردود المتميز اللي قدموه، على الروح القتالية اللي قدموها، رغم أن غيرنا معناها في الشوط الثاني من الطريقة متاعنا كنا أفضل وما خليناش المنتخب الإنجليزي يوصل المناطق الخلفية. قدر الله ما شاء فعل والحمد لله.
Microphone.
كوتش، رغم الهزيمة اللي بالطبيعة موجعة ثم عديد من النقاط الإيجابية في المباراة هذه، شنو حسب رأيك النقاط الإيجابية اللي خرجوا بها وتنجموا تبنيوا عليها المقابلة القادمة؟
طبعا بدون أن نشك الروح الكبيرة اللي لعب بها المنتخب التونسي، الانضباط التكتيكي اللي كان موجود معناها تيلت 90 دقيقة معناها قبل ما نقبل الهدف الثاني، لأنه فما برشا أشياء تغيرت بين الشوطين بالنسبة للمنتخب التونسي، رغم أن غيرنا من الطريقة متاعنا لكن الانضباط كان موجود، الروح كانت موجودة. صحيح أن ما كانتش عندنا فرص كبيرة، وهذا الشيء معناها من النقائص اللي نجم نداركوهم في المباريات القادمة، لكن تعرف تلعب ضد فريق متعودين اللاعبين متاعه الكل على نسق بدني عالي جدا، ممكن في بعض الأحيان ما قدرناش نضاهيو النسق البدني هذاك. كما قلت معناها خروج معز حسان أثر علينا في التغييرات، لكن التغييرات متاعنا كانت مدروسة. نعرفوا أنه عندنا زوز لاعبين راجعين من إصابة، علي معلول كنا باش نعطيو 60 دقيقة فقط، عطيناه مباراة كاملة إن شاء الله ما يتعاودش إصابة. وهب الخزري كيف راجع من الإصابة، ممكن عطيناه أكثر من الوقت اللي كان يستناه، أيضا كنا باش نعطيو 65 دقيقة، لعب أكثر من 80 دقيقة. لكن نقول الحمد لله معناها المنتخب التونسي لعب ند المنتخب الإنجليزي، كنا معناها باش نخرجوا اللي تعتبر نتيجة أكثر من إيجابية لو تعادلنا في المباراة هذه. ممكن المباراة هذه تخلي معناها التركيز يكون أكثر وأعلى في المباريات القادمة إن شاء الله.
العديد من الصعوبات بالنسبة للمنتخب التونسي في التعامل مع الكرات الفضائية والهوائية، خصوصا على ليكورنير وإلا لبالاريتي بصفة عامة. شنو تفسيرك للمسألة هذه؟ وثانيا شفناك انطلق في المقابلة بوهب الخزري اون بوينت، هذيك زينا أكثر ولا يلعبوا على الكل.
وهب الخزري معناها بدا اون بوينت، كمل اون بوينت، بدينا بوهب ياتاكون، كمل معناها دوزيام ميتون، بدلنا ردينا وهب الخزري وسليتي دوز اتاكون، خاطر كانوا يهجموا فينا علينا برشا خاصة من الجهة اليمنى والجهة اليسرى باش نوقفوا معناها يونغ وتريبيي. طلعنا علي معلول على تريبيي، طلعنا الروج على يونغ. وطبعا خلينا فرجاني مع لينغارد لأنهم كانوا يجوا من الخلف ويحاولوا يستغلوا الفراغات والمساحات اللي يفتح فيهم كين واللي يفتح فيهم ستيرلينغ اللي قلقنا برشا، اللي يجي كمان يجي ويحط نفسه بين الخط وخط وسط الميدان والخط الخلفي، وهذا قلقنا برشا. عدلنا الأمور في الشوطين والأمور تحسنت برشا في الشوط الثاني وما لقيناش خطورة برشا. المنتخب الإنجليزي الخطورة جات كان والهدفين شفتوهم تقريبا أو كل خطورة جات من كرات ثابتة. غيرنا أيضا من الخطة نتاعنا ككرات ثابتة، كنا نعملوا زون ولينا نعملوا الانديفيدوال، لكن لما يكونوا عندك لاعبين معناها القامة نتاعهم تقارب المترين واحنا معناها أطول واحد عندنا الروج متر و93 94 سنة، معناها ما فماش سر على ذلك. هما متعودين أكثر منا معناها بويسون علينا أتليتيكمون في الكرات الهوائية.
Did you think you were very lucky not to concede 2 penalties for obvious fouls on Harry Kane? And would you have expected VAR to be used? Because that did not appear to be used today.
ممكن أنا ما شفتهمش في الملعب. المفروض فما موجود الفار كانوا ممكن يرجعوا اللقطات اللي كانوا موجودين. مش عارف أنا شخصيا، لكن أنا في الملعب ممكن ما شفتهمش أو ما تبعتهمش. ممكن أنتم ما شفتوهم في الإعادة. أنا نشوف في الماتش أون ديريكت معناها نتبع فيه. جي با في معناها ما شفتش الأخطاء اللي صارت على
match. I can see what fouls were committed.
Martin Morawitz, German press agency DPA. Which injury does your goalkeeper have, and what do you think of the performance of Harry Kane?
بالنسبة لهاري كين معناها لما تسجل هدفين في مباراة كما هكذا اللي كانت مغلقة، معناها دائما نقول أن هاري كين يعتبر من أفضل المهاجمين اللي موجودين حاليا على الساحة في البريمير ليج واللي موجودين على الساحة العالمية. هذاك علاش هاري كين مطلوب من أفضل الفرق اللي موجودة في العالم حاليا. دونك مش أنا باش نعرف هاري كين ولا بالبرفورمانس نتاعو ولا شنو اللي ينجم يعمل هاري كين بالنسبة للمنتخب الإنجليزي. هو اليوم اللي كان تقريبا وراء فوز المنتخب الإنجليزي شفتوا كورتين ثابته، كورتين مرتده من الحارس، واحده من الحارس وواحده من عند زميله، سجل هدفين. معناها ديما موجود في المكان المناسب في الوقت المناسب، وهذا الهداف القناص بأتم طبعا معنى الكلمه. ما نعرفش كيفاش تتقال بالانجليزي، معناها لوكساسيون دو ليبول تاع الحارس نتاعنا. دونك اضطررنا باش نخرجوه لانه ما قدرش يكمل المباراة.
Агентство Интерфакс, Россия. Вопрос на русском языке. Скажите, пожалуйста, как вы оцениваете стадион Волгоград-арена и сильно ли помешала в игре мошкара?
Moi, j'ai pas senti de moucheron. ما حسيتش انه موجودين.
Did not feel
Donc j'ai pas senti. أنا ما حسيتش شخصيا أنه فما ناموس، لأنه كنت معناها مركز كثير كونسنتري برشا مع المباراة فيما يخص الملعب. معناها كل ما الملعب اكسبسيونيل. الملاعب اللي زرناها احنا توا سواء لعبنا فيها مباريات ودية ولا اليوم، معناها وقلت البارح هذا في الندوة الصحفية قبل المباراة امبارح، قلت أنه معناها التنظيم على مستوى عالي جدا من روسيا، ملاعب على مستوى عالي جدا، انفراستركتور على مستوى عالي جدا، سيكوريتي على مستوى عالي جدا. معناها كنت موجود في كؤوس عالم كثير، ممكن من 2002 وانا موجود في كؤوس العالم 2002 2006. معناها من احسن كؤوس العالم اللي زرتهم واللي شفتهم حاليا موجوده في روسيا.
Thank you for your attention. Next press conference will be England with the coach and the man of the match, Harry Kane.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this post-match press conference following England's victory this evening, late victory over Tunisia. We have here Budweiser, man of the match, also the captain of the England side tonight, Mr. Harry Kane. We'll just have a few questions for him so that he can then go and be with his teammates post-match. Let's start right here.
Harry, do you think that was justice and also richly deserved?
I think so, for sure. I thought we played very well, especially to start. Always, obviously, a bit of nerves, a bit of excitement. You're never really sure how it's going to go to start off with, but we got into the game really quickly and we had a couple of chances. We scored one, probably could have scored a couple more on another day. And then, yeah, we goes to 1-0. Momentum changes a bit, so I thought we recovered well from that. And then, yeah, it's always in the back of your mind that it's going to be one of them days. The ball just weren't falling to our player at the right time, but that's what the character's about. That's why you work so hard, is to go until 90-plus minutes, and thankful we got one in the end.
Harry, can you remember the first half performance in which England have created so many chances?
Can I remember? Yeah. Probably not. It felt good out there. That's exactly how we wanted to start the game. Attack the team, create chances, and we've done that. And like I said, we could have scored 2-3 goals and put the game to bed early. But in a World Cup, against any team, they're always going to fight and keep going, and we had to deal with that. So I'm really pleased with how we played.
Hello, Harry. There's quite a lot of talk back home as well about the treatment of you at corners and that it wasn't picked up by VAR. What was your view of it?
Yeah, maybe a bit disappointed by that. Obviously, when you look at the penalty they got, I've not seen it back, but on the pitch it looked quite soft. So I guess that's what VAR is there for, to look at them decisions. If they don't think it was a penalty, we have to deal with that. For me, I struggle to to get them off me. I tried to run at a few corners and just couldn't move. So I guess as players, there's nothing we can do about that. We just have to hope the officials get it right more often than not.
Hi. Hey. We know England fans like to dream and like to believe it's a major tournament. What's the general mood inside the dressing room? We know you're happy, of course, because of the result. And the second question is, there's been little Russian dolls made of you. You've made a real big splash in Russia. But did you know that the Russian people actually think your name is a play on words because it sounds like hurricane?
I don't know that, though. So, yeah, I'd have to get myself one of them Russian dolls. I've seen a couple of them. Yeah, it makes me look a bit chubby, if I'm totally honest with you. But no. And sorry, with the first question. Yeah, no. I think the most is we're proud of each other. You know, in a World Cup, you're never sure how it's going to go. And in recent years, the first game's always been difficult. So it looked like it could have been one of them nights again. But like I said, we've got great togetherness. I said it before the game, but you're always proud to see it come off in a game. And we're talking to each other non-stop, getting each other through it. We never panicked. We never looked like conceding another one, which was important. And then got what we deserved at the end.
Юрий Царицын, телеканал «Россия-24». Мистер Кейн, в первую очередь, с победой на старте группового этапа. Да, с победой на старте группового турнира. У меня вот такой вопрос. Мы сегодня до матча пообщались с родителями Гарри Магуайра, и они сказали, что их прогноз, что вы забьете 2, а потом они сказали, ну, вообще нет, наш сын тоже поучаствует. Мой вопрос вот в чем. Вы верите в провидение или все-таки случайности не случайны?
Yeah, hopefully they're a good luck charm. Big Harry's so difficult to mark from corners. He's a great lad. I know he's got a lot of support out here with his family. So yeah, hopefully they keep coming to all the games, and I'll keep scoring and we keep winning.
Two more quickly. One here in the front row, and then we'll go here.
Harry, because it was quite a soft penalty, and you should have had a couple, and they were quite dirty at times. How much of a lesson is it for you and the team tonight to deal with stuff like this?
Yeah, no, for sure. Obviously, yeah, it's part of the game. We knew. Obviously, watching the other games, there's been a lot of penalties. There's been a lot of kind of soft decisions, I'd say. So yeah, we had to be aware of that. Obviously, we had one against us today, and yeah, probably another couple that didn't go our way. But like I said, as players, it's difficult. All we can do is get on with the game, and it's down to, like I say, the officials. And when they watch it back, hopefully make it right for the next game. So yeah, I'm more proud of us for just that we kept on going and kept on fighting, and sent a lot of fans home happy here, and made a lot of fans back home in the pubs happy as well.
Final one right here.
Hi, Harry. Congratulations. Were the gnats a bother on the pitch?
There was a lot more than what I first thought. We got told before that there was going to be quite a lot of flies, and when we went out for the warm up, it was a lot more than what we all kind of thought. So we all had a lot of bug spray on before the game, half time, which was important because there was some of them in your eye, some of them in your mouth, but. Again, I guess that's part of just dealing with whatever comes your way, and the team coped with it well.
Thanks for your patience, Terry. Sorry we didn't have time for everyone, but we'll have another chance in the mix zone. Thank you. We'll be right back. Great. To wrap up the night, after England's 2-1 victory over Tunisia, we have England coach Mr. Gareth Southgate. Again, wait for the microphone. Please raise your hand. If you're going to speak in a language other than English, give us a second to get the translation in order. And we'll get started. Please raise your hand if you have a question, and we'll pass the microphone. Let's start right here in the corner.
Gareth, congratulations. Try and sum up how you're feeling after that ending and that match.
Well, even at 1-1, I was really proud of the performance, and I've talked a lot in the weeks leading into this game about the performance being key, and if we hit that level of performance, that's the bit we can control. There were things within the game that we couldn't control tonight that we reacted really well to. So, okay, if we'd finished 1-1, there would have been a level of disappointment, and I understand the results would, back home would be viewed differently. But I think the performance was very good. We created a lot of clear-cut chances in the first half, as many as I can remember us having. So if there's to be anything levelled at us, it would be that ruthlessness on those. But recovered from a really harsh decision and kept our composure, which pleased me. And in the second half, dominated the game and kept our patience and looked for good opportunities rather than just throwing the ball in the box and hoping. So we kept wave after wave of attack. We at 1-1, if we'd had to take 1-1, I thought we were disciplined enough defensively that we didn't leave gaps and weren't hit on counter-attacks. So I liked the controlled manner we did that. And our attacking set plays were a threat all night. We've done a lot of work on them, and I think we got just reward for that. So I was really pleased with what we did.
Gareth, can you just talk a bit about the qualities of Harry? He never gave up, did he? And were you disappointed with the potential two VAR decisions? Do you think there were obvious mistakes?
I think if it's a penalty at one end, it has to be a penalty at the other, would be the observation. I could see why once the first one is given, then it wasn't going to be overturned because it wasn't going to be a clear and obvious error. If penalties are going to be given for that, then it's going to be an interesting tournament. And I think there were similar offences at the other end of the pitch. But in terms of Harry, I've said on air earlier, if he doesn't score tonight, I'm sitting answering questions about his ability to score goals in tournament football. So the only thing he hasn't done now is scored in August. He's managed to move every other barrier. So for him, I'm personally delighted. But I know he will feel that, the pride in leading his country to a win in a World Cup match tonight is the most important thing.
Gareth, congratulations. Just on the substitutions, could Dele Alli have come off slightly earlier, and was there an injury doubt on him? And for you personally, there were two significant substitutions, particularly the second one with Loftus-Cheek.
Well, we had to keep monitoring Dele. He was feeling a little bit of an issue just before half-time, but he felt he could carry on, and I thought the runs that he was making and the way he was pressing the ball was still causing a problem. He had a half chance with a lovely ball Jordan Henderson played to him. It lofted over the top. But we have good options on the bench, and we felt that to put the freshness on of Marcus and Ruben would both bring fresh energy, but also a different sort of threat to the one that we'd posed. And they had a really good contribution to the game. But so did the four forwards that started the game. Their movement and their runs in behind the defence and their interchange of position was a real problem. So I know when I look back at the performance, there'll be a lot of those things that I'm pleased with.
Hi, Gareth. Could you speak a bit about the patience tonight in the second half when things weren't always going your way, and also you've spoken a lot about the togetherness in the camp over the past 3 weeks, and did that show through in that last 5-10 minute period?
Yeah, I think it did tonight. I think that we had leaders on the field that kept delivering the right messages. we talked this morning, in fact, about the fact that we've covered being behind in games, we've covered being in front in games. One of the things I wanted to emphasise this morning, 1-1, 15 minutes to go. We keep probing, we keep looking for the win, but also we don't expose ourselves to counter-attack in transition. And I thought we kept that control well. We didn't flap, we didn't lob the ball forward aimlessly. Our outside centre-backs kept pushing forward and stepping in and creating that bit of overload in wide areas. So in the end, the pressure built and built and built, and that's what you have to keep doing. And maybe in the end you run out of time, but I thought we kept doing the right things and making good decisions. I think we were good value for the win over the 90 minutes.
Gareth, how difficult was it for both sets of players, the Flies? I mean, it seemed quite extraordinary out there. Harry's spoken about it. Raheem was among many players that really seemed to have difficulty with it at times.
I don't know that. I've not had a chance to speak to them. I didn't notice it too much. I was aware of it in the warm-ups, but during the game I didn't notice it too much.
Gareth, to what extent do you feel it was like the perfect game in that, you come away with a win, which was the most important thing, and you come away with lots to improve upon because you weren't as clinical as you would like to have been in the first half. You didn't create maybe as much as you would have liked to in the second half. Yeah,
I think there are always things, we are a team that are improving and developing, and therefore there will always be things that we can get better at. And we're a long way from perfection. So what pleased me is that there's been a long period of work gone into tonight's result from all of the players and all of the support team. And if you don't get the win, even though you've done so many things right, that can breed a little bit of doubt, and of course would be a different feel externally, and so the next 4 or 5 days would be a little less comfortable for people. What we've got to make sure is that we enjoy tonight, but we don't have comfort for the next 4 or 5 days. We have a job to do, and we've got to prepare as perfectly for Panama to make sure we get the result in that game that we need. So yeah, I think the players know it's hard to win a match in a World Cup, against any opposition, and Tunisia opposition we respected. But Panama, for 45 minutes, were obdurate opponents against Belgium, and we'll have to prepare that game, 100% right to win it.
From Titan Sports in China, 20 years ago, you played your World Cup debut as a player against Tunisia in Marseille with a comfortable 2-0 win. And today, you made your World Cup debut as a coach, but a thrilling 2-1 win against Tunisia's opponent. So, what is the difference between your feelings for the two matches as a player and as a coach? And are there anything still keeps the same?
Well, the match seems comfortable looking back in '98, but we scored a set play, and we scored our second goal after about 85 minutes, I think. So it was still a very tight game. The difference is this time in '98, I was sat in a drug testing room with Teddy Sheringham while everybody else was celebrating. So tonight I'm able to at least experience a little bit of what the fans are feeling and the feel of the dressing room. But of course, the difference being that as a player, you enjoy the moment a little bit longer. As a coach, you're into looking at the game back on the way home and immediately focusing everybody around you on the next task. So the enjoyment lasts a little bit less time.
Gareth, was there any, during the second half, when you were getting frustrated, was there any temptation to change the shape at all? Or change things more radically than just making substitutions? And is the fact that you didn't kind of a reflection on the confidence that you've built up in your own game plan over the last few months?
Yeah, I think that we talked about this with the players at St George's over the last few weeks, that the way we will change the game is that we have different profile of players that bring a different sort of threat. And it's no matter what system we play, we don't feel we can get more players into the forward areas. The important thing is at those moments that when you're attacking and you're getting those players, that there's still some structure to your play, because you can put attacking players in various different possessions, but then lose shape and you end up being counter-attacked and the game becoming disjointed. So what pleased me was that we kept the control, we kept the composure, but the guys that came on had a different sort of a threat. And I think that's all you can do as a team, and you keep working and you keep working. And I said earlier, maybe tonight we could have run out of time in the end, but I think we would have been the dominant team. And I think the best teams in the world keep that belief in what they're doing, and in the end they break the opposition down.
Just a quick one, Gareth, on Harry Maguire, because he really kept going. He was getting dragged all over the place, but he seemed to grow into the game, and then he got that crucial header at the end to set up Harry Kane's goal.
Yeah, I think his potential is huge. He's probably the one player, him and Pickford, who haven't played in cup finals, on big stage Champions League games in the past. So maybe for him it was more of a voyage of discovery tonight than for some of the others. But he has great composure. He has really good defensive qualities. Most things land on his bonds in both ends of the both penalty areas, and he's got a really lovely, calm temperament. And I think that he for me he has outstanding potential, and I hope tonight's given him a lot of belief.
Thanks, Coach. We're out of time. Safe travels back to St. Petersburg. Thanks, everyone.